Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Solo TTRPGs. I am a little tired this morning. Had a late night. Those who know, I run a game called Changeling Lost. And yesterday, this episode is recording right after episode 10 of our Changeling game. Our stream had really bad lag, so I had to shut down, reboot my entire computer, and I had to spend an hour last night after game splicing the two videos together and get that exported and into the YouTube, so I didn't really get to go to bed until 4 a.m. this morning. As always, today's tea is Sunset Moors by Dryad's Tea. This one is hibiscus, cinnamon, orange peel, cloves, cardamom, and star anise. It is an herbal tea. It is 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and you steep to 5 to 8 minutes. I steeped for 5. It is very, very strong on the hibiscus. I will let you know that right now. I do not taste anything else but the hibiscus, and that's saying a lot. All right. So today we're playing Anamnesis. Anamnesis. That is a word I have difficulty pronouncing. This is a solo journaling RPG made by Samantha Leigh, which you can also find on Blinking Birch Games on itch.io or on their website, which I'll be putting the links below where you can purchase this game. So Anamnesis is a noun. It is a remembrance of the past, or Platonism, the recollection of innate knowledge from a previous existence. So basically, this game is a solo RPG. It's about self-discovery, reflection, and identity. You're playing as an individual who woke up with memory loss. You don't remember who you are, where you are, or what you care about. And this is also a tarot-based game. The deck I am using is the Tarot of Vampires. The art is made by Ian Daniels, and it is a Rider-Waite structure. But the usual things that are like your pentacles, your cups, your wands, and your swords, they're called scepters, grails, knives, and skulls. They're very beautiful. Some of the art I cannot show on here because of guidelines, but it is very pretty if you like your goth style artwork or romantically dark tarot decks. It's one of my favorite. It is through Llewellyn Publishing, which is, if you know anything about mysticism or magic or witchcraft and everything, Llewellyn is one of the #1 publishers for this. So it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck, which I'll be providing a link where you can buy that deck as well. As always with this game, it may lead to your journaling, may lead to serious topics. If it becomes too much, please put it down and step back. As always with this series, I am playing this game for the first time, so we are going to go through this together. So I already preemptively did things. So basically you have to separate your tarot decks into 5 decks. There are 22 major arcana: the pentacles, the swords, the cups, and the wands. And then you shuffle each deck and you set aside the 4 minor decks. And basically in a second we're about to draw our major arcana, so which I am going to label here in our Google Doc that I always do. So this card is going to be the shadow, which represents who you were in the past. So you get to keep this card face up and next to you the entire time. So we're going to put our shadow. There are ways that you could play this game, and I am going to be pulling up my favorite website that I use for reference for tarot. So which a lot of people do use this. It is called Biddy Tarot. That is what I'll be using for today, and I will provide a link to that below. So there is that. Anyways, the card that I'm going to draw for the shadow, I'm going to shuffle this deck one more time because I like shuffling right before I do it, because that's just how I do things. I used to do tarot readings when I had a lot more energy back in the day. I specialized in what you needed to hear the most. That was the kind of readings I used to do quite often. So the card we are drawing is the star. I can actually show this one. That is the card. We're going to put this on our laptop. So our shadow is the star. Okay. I need a drink of tea in just a second. People are blowing up my phone. Okay. Also, during this time that I am recording this, a lot of people, a lot of my friends in the TTRPG community are having a rough go right now. So, let's get started. Oh. So there are 5 acts. Each act is going to use a different deck. So, Act 1, I don't remember which deck we're going to use, but at the beginning of each act, draw 3 cards from its corresponding deck. Place the cards face down in front of you. Flip over the first card, read the prompt associated with the card. Make a journal entry. Remember your shadow. Flip over the next card. Continue until you've made journal entries for all 3 cards, and then move on to the next act. However, there is an alternate way to play, which is make a single journal entry for the entire act when you flip all 3 cards over at once. Or draw 3 major arcana at the beginning of the act and choose which one goes with which prompt. So basically, after you read a prompt, draw from the major arcana deck. Use this card to answer questions in the prompt. For example, a prompt might be the following. You talked to a friend yesterday. Who was this friend? What was your conversation about? For this prompt, the major arcana you draw represents a friend you spoke to and or the conversation of topic. Or the topic of conversation. My bad. At the end of each deck, shuffle the major arcana cards back into the deck. How you interpret it is up to you. So, we are going to start with Act 1. And I love this part in the book right here. When you're ready, take a deep breath and wake up. I will remember the shadow, which is the star, which is something. All right, so we are going to start with pinnacles, which is skulls in this deck. So we are going to draw 3 cards. I'm going to put them face down in front of me. And we are going to move this deck of cards to my little spot. So, we are going to draw the first card, which is the 10 of skulls. The 9 of skulls. And the 3 of skulls. So you're going to see my playstyle is going to be a bit different. And then I am going to draw my 3 major arcana, which is the Lovers, Justice, and I cannot show this one. It's the Sun. So we got that. So we are going to go here and go to Act 1. So, 10 of Skulls is when you focus, you can grasp the edges of a hazy memory from when you just fell unconscious. What do you remember? So I am going to put these down. So Act 1. The cards are Major Arcana, the Lovers, Justice, and the Sun. So we're going to put these back in the deck in just a second. So I'm going to move these over to the side. And with Act 1, it says, you wake up in an unfamiliar place, seemingly within a town or a city. You cannot remember who you are or why you're here. All you know for certain is you're not in your home. So, deck of skulls. Ten, 9, and 3. So I'm going to do a single journal entry with this. So we're going to take a minute, breathe. We're going to do some research in just a second. And who is DMing me? This is not the time to DM me. Okay. So, when you focus, you can grasp the edge of a hazy memory from just before you fell unconscious. What do you remember? And 9 is when you realize you have an intense craving for something. What are you craving? And 3 is you open your mouth and hear yourself speak. What does your voice sound like? So, conversation at hand. So I'm going to do a different font for this, for the journal entries for Act 1. Let's use Comic Sans, because a lot of people use this for dyslexia. So let's start. So where am I? Who am I? I don't... No, we are not opening a new tab. Where am I? Who am I? I don't even recognize where I am or even remember my name. This is very odd, and people around me don't seem to notice me at first. So we are going to start with the Lovers. I do vaguely remember what this card means, but I like to get more of a synopsis. So upright means love, harmony, relationships, values, alignments, and choices. Okay, so what we are going to do is... Perfect. Got it. I got an idea. So, when I blink, there is a haziness. I am in a garden. That I think I know. There is a beautiful woman there in a deep red dress that contrasted her porcelain skin. I cannot spell contrasted. That contrasts. There we go. She seemed very happy to see me. and hope and desire seems to surge. At the sight of her. She is so beautiful. In her face. Contort. Seems to contort in fear. Was I drunk? She's so beautiful. Then her face seems to contort in fear as I suddenly fall to the ground. Why did I fall? Was I drunk? Was I low on iron? Okay, why am I thinking about low iron? Odd. I pull myself out of the vague memory I had. And oh, 10 of skulls. Hold on, let's double check something. Oh, 10 of pentacles, my bad. 10 of coins. Ugh. There it is. It just didn't want to cooperate. Oh, okay. That does work out because 10 of Pentacles means wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, and contribution. So basically that did vaguely state with the deep red dress because red is a very expensive color and was a very expensive color to get besides purple for the longest time. So that works out. Now we are going to look up Nine of Pentacles because we're going into the abundance, luxury, self-sufficiency. Something very sweet and tart. Tart. Into my head in this moment. Do I even like lemon tarts? Abundance, luxury, self-sufficiency, financial independence. And then a card that I also drew was Justice. Do I even like lemon tarts? This seems to be true as I pulled a villager nearby. to ask them the question. They seemed a bit surprised to be grabbed, but I promptly apologized quite quickly. But I promptly apologized. I then asked them where I could find a lemon tart, as I was oddly craving one. Craving! At this time. They told me was a bakery around the corner, and I better have some coin. So I made way there. However, I stopped in the moment as I realized I just spoke. My voice okay. Sounded so feminine. Very warm. Like the sun coming up after a very cold night. Very soft as well. One can argue is softer than cashmere. It's very fluid. Very fluid. And very well put together. Like I know something. I find it quite amusing, as I, in fact, don't know anything. Finally, I made it to the bakery and had myself a lovely lemon tart. It was that perfect a bitter and sweet. Okay. Act 2. We will get to Act 2 momentarily. And I think we should do Act 2 at our Part 2. So thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I'm making these episodes a little bit shorter because I need breaks in between. But I'll see you next time on Tea and Solo TTRPGs for Anamnesis. So see ya. Bye.